I thought since I could not do a Facebook Live and share my one card, 3 styles, I would make a video and share that with you instead. And so here's my clean and simple card. Right. So I started with the Daisy Lane stamp set, and I used this image, the fern, and the daisy. So the only thing you need for this card is a piece of Whisper White that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold it in the middle. Use your bone folder for a good crisp fold. I used Old Olive ink to stamp up the leaves for the flower, the stem, and I kind of did it at an angle, and this one will be a little different, but that's okay. All right, I want that one a little higher, and I missed it a little bit, but that's all right. It's a hand-stamped card. It's not a Hallmark. All right, and then I'm going to add in the fern, and then I used crushed curry for the head, and my crushed curry is a little bit juicy. What you have to do is, to get it to line up, is look at the bottom, and I know I have about maybe 1/8 of an inch between the edge and the image, so I kind of just overlap it a little, and I'm going to come down a little bit since I messed that one up there. All right, so there's that. And then I used Rich Razzleberry and the Smile from the stamp set, which I forgot to tell you I was using. And I just stamped the sentiment. So there it is, a clean and simple card. But suppose you want to make a great card. We're going to step it up. So we're using a piece of Whisper White that's 3 3/4 by 5, and we're going to stamp basically the same images as before, as you can see, and it might make a difference with the couldn't find my stuff, the placement, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that there, and I went out a little bit on that one, and then I'm going to pull in my fern, which you don't see it too much, so I'm going to pull this one up a little bit higher so it shows up more. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to go back to our crushed curry. We're going to add our flower head. This crushed curry is really dark. And then we need our smile. But the other thing you need is we're going to take the 2 flower images, daisy images from there, and you're going to stamp those with Rich Razzleberry onto some scrap cardstock, and you're going to do 2 large and a small, and then you're going to punch it out using the 2 daisy punches, which I have already done. Now I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to take one of the daisies and curl my petals down. Take the other daisy, curl the petals up, and then the medium daisy, I'm going to curl my petals up also. And they don't stay curled up a whole lot, but it does kind of separate them and make them look more realistic. Okay, this way. The one that curls up goes on next on top of the one that goes down. So you're going to add a glue dot and you're going to center it over there, centering your petals. Then you're going to take the medium daisy, put a glue dot in the back, and center it in the middle, and center your petals between those other ones. Now, what we have to do is we need to take our bumblebee gingham ribbon, and we're going to add a strip of ribbon across this. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape so I have a way to sandwich that ribbon on. And I'm going to take my pokey tool and take my back off. I didn't burnish it, so it wasn't coming. All right, I got my backs off, and I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to kind of place my ribbon right about there. I'm going to wrap this side around and catch it. I'm going to make sure that this side is straight and wrap it around the back. Catch it. Oh, that one looks a little high. Let me try again. I do better side to side for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I can get it straight and it doesn't shift on me. And then I'm going to go back to my tear and tape and add a piece on top to sandwich that ribbon to make sure it stays down real good. All right. And I need my pokey tool to take my backs off. And I'm going to add some glue to the back of this, and it's going to go on a piece of old olive that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just a fraction bigger. And it's just so we can get a little bit of a border. Oops. All right. There. All right. Now, our card base this time is Rich Razzleberry, and it is 5 1/8, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to take and fold it, and I'm going to add some glue to the back. And then this, I keep hitting that, goes on here, centered side to side, top to bottom. All right, now. And then to finish it off, we're going to take our daisy and we're going to take some glue dots and we're going to put those on. All right. Then I'm going to take my bone folder, take my backs off. Don't you just love these dimensionals? And I'm going to put my daisy down here, right where my ribbon is. I'm going to take a large rhinestone, put it in the center, and then I used the bumblebee gingham ribbon and I tied a bow. And I'm going to put it at an angle. And so there we have taken a clean and simple card and stepped it up. But let's go further. Let's take this stepped up card and step it up some more. So for this one, our Whisper White is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And again, we're going to stamp our stems. And I'm not going too high because this one's a little bit smaller. All right. And then I'm going to take my fern. And this one you don't really see on mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and pull it way down low here so that you will see it. All right. So there we've got our pieces there. Now we need to take our crushed curry and we want to add our flower head. And if this, you don't like this color, just take and it does lighten, as you can see. So now we want to add our ribbon because this one is done differently than that one. So we're going to take our ribbon. We're going to cut a piece to put across. All right. And I need my tear and tape. I'm going to add my tear and tape to the back. Use my pokey tool, make sure it's burnished in real good. Take the back off. Make sure your front is good and dry before you do this. Usually it does fairly quickly, but I had some issues the other day with one of the colors not drying on the cardstock, and it's smeared. I don't know why, but it did. All right, let me look here. Get this side to side. There. Now I'm going to add some ribbon. Tear and tape over top of the ribbon, like so. Burnish my ends in. This one doesn't want to come up because I didn't burnish it. All right, there's one and two. And then I'm going to add some glue to the back of this. And if you can see, the green is offset. So I'm going to keep my glue towards the middle. All right, and then you're going to take a piece of old olive that's 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to put it down so that it's cockeyed from the panel, like so. And then this panel goes on a piece of rich raspberry that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm just going to add my glue to my old olive. And this one is the tricky one. Make sure your rich raspberry is straight, and then don't look at your old olive, look at your Whisper White and center it side to side, top to bottom, but make sure it's straight. All right? And don't worry about the old olive because it's supposed to be cattywampus. All right, now that we've got that done, we're going to let that sit for a few minutes, and we're going to do the same flower that we did before. So 2 large, 1 medium. Take one of them, curl the petals down, take the other one, curl the petals up. Guess I could move that one out of the way. All right, and then the medium one, curl your petals up also. All right, and do that very gently, or you'll be doing he loves me not, he loves me not. All right, and then take the one that curls up, the large one that curls up, put a glue dot on the back and center it onto the other one, and center your petals in between the others. Then take your medium one, put a glue dot on the back and put it on in the center and center your petals between the other big one. Now, I'm not going to put this on there yet because I want to put it on my card base. And my card base is crushed curry, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So then I'm going to take and put some glue on the back. And then this one, again, you've got to look at your rich razzleberry piece and get it centered side to side, top to bottom. And it's a little bit smaller than normal, just so that some more of the yellow, the crushed curry, shows. Now we can take and we can add dimensionals to the back of our daisy that we created. All right in the center. Take your backs off. I love using my pokey tool for that. And take this and put it on your card base. And see, now the fern is going to show some. It didn't on mine. Now you have another piece of rich raspberry that's, oh, that says 7/7. It's 7/8 of an inch by 2 3/4. It's just under 2 inches. You're going to use the banner punch, and that's why I said just under. So it's just slightly. It's not even 7/8. And you're going to punch one end so that you get a banner. Then you're going to take your sentiment and you're going to stamp it close to this end. So you have your sentiment on there and it's close to the end. Now, the easiest thing I found to use for this was some more glue dots. Yes, I know, a lot of glue dots. So I put one in the center and then one on each tip. And make sure you don't pull when it doesn't want to come, because you'll rip your paper on the back. And then I just kind of stuck this under the petals. I got it under there and stuck it down, and that's why it was just easier to use the glue dots. And then to finish it off, tie yourself another bow and add it to your card. And there you have it. So we went from clean and simple, stepped up one time, and then stepped up again. I hope you'll join me next week when I'll do another 1 card, 3 styles, and I'll be back live then. Have a great day.